What's going on, everybody? Sadistic Picker here with lockpick /tools.com's 60-piece set, or otherwise known as Southern Specialties. Please go to their site and check out what they have to offer. They have a lot to offer just besides this set. So I want to start off in this review, or this bump up review, saying that this isn't really a beginner set. If you're a beginner and looking at sets, I would go smaller and then work your way to this. But then again, if you've got money, if you're working your butt off and you've got money to splurge, this is a splurgeable set. I just will give you a huge piece of advice. Some of these shafts aren't meant for beginners. In other words, you'll be bending and breaking picks. So that might be something you want to think about. Or at least until you figure out how to tension, pick placement for pins, what the warding is, until you gain a little experience. Now that said, again, if you've got money to splurge and you want to try a massive amount of profiles, this has got some seriously awesome profiles. I loved the raking profiles. I've just had a hoot. The half diamonds, you get them in 3 different sizes, which most sets either come with a large or a small. This set came with three different sizes, and they all worked a treat. But I will tell you that some of these shafts are really, really, really thin, and unless you've got major experience, you will be bending these. So these are made from spring steel, I believe. I reached out to them, but I believe they're on vacation this weekend, so they haven't got back to me yet. But I'm pretty positive that this is spring steel. What type of spring steel, I'm not sure. I did see on their site that they have a spring steel, or sets in spring steel, called Black Diamond. Must be a new type of spring steel. Now, just because it isn't stainless steel and 300 or 400 doesn't make these any less worthy. I think spring steel is very good steel. I would say it's just as good as 300 stainless, because I've broken 300 stainless picks from other companies using less than I've used on these picks, and I've put about 300 hours into these picks at the very least, maybe even a little bit more. I mean, I picked my ass off of these. That way I could come back and tell you guys that this is a worthy pick set. These are worthy pick companies. These ripple picks handles, now these are a bare handled pick, so you're gonna get what you expect from it, bare handled. I would get some shrink wrap for them, but I used them just fine. Actually, I like the ripple bare handle better than I like a normal bare handled pick that you would get from other companies. I think that this was a great idea for a bare handled pick. I think that this should be like what other companies copy. It was a treat to hold and to work with. But still, that said, I think some shrink wrap tubing would be nice on them. Let's see, we covered the thin shafts for beginners. This is definitely an intermediate set to professional set. I think he told me that this was their locksmith set, and normally locksmiths get this because of all the different profiles and the experience that they have. Having a selection of profiles like this is nice, especially when you gain experience. But with all that said, if you're new and just starting off, my opinion would be just to get one of their sets and hooks. I wouldn't even mess with any of the rakes until you figure out how to pick locks with hooks. But that's just me. Some people want to start off and they want to do rake open locks first. So it's kind of up to the person and how they're going to go about their lock picking career. Tensioners. Oh my goodness, this set come with so many tensioners. I think the best tensioners out of this set is these Longhorn Z-bars. I use them majority of the time, and if I'm not using the Longhorn Z-bars for BOK and TOK, then I use the straight up TOK And this has become a favorite TOK of mine. This is a great design. I love the fatness in the center of it. Gives you better positioning for your finger to hold, say, compared to this. You do less kickouts with this wide one than you do this. In other words, spring out of the lock, because of the direction of pressure that you're putting on while you're picking. So this has become a fan favorite of mine. Let's see, the ones that didn't work very well. I was hoping that this one was going to be work a treat for me, and maybe it's just because I'm left-handed, but I didn't have a lot of luck with this. Actually, I didn't open one lock with this, but that doesn't mean that it won't work for you. It just didn't work for me. And then, of course, you have a couple other bent. And I'll say one other thing about a bent tensioner. They say you lose feedback with the bend. I don't know if that's true. I couldn't really tell, or haven't been able to tell through my picking career, the difference in feedback that's lost with the twist in it. So I don't know, maybe somebody could explain to me what feedback is being lost by that twist. I haven't lost any feedback, or it's not enough to make it noticeable to me anyway as a picker. So yes, we have a great assortment of profiles. We have a great assortment of thicknesses. And let me tell you, some of these thin shafts are just exceptional for Euro locks. I mean, I find with other pick sets and other picks, the shaft, either gets in the way at the base, especially on Euro locks that are set further back into the lock. The pins are set further back into the lock. These really work a treat, but you've got to be super careful with what you're working with, because it's not hard to bend a shaft like that. I mean, come on, it's kind of like a toothpick. But for them locks that have seriously twisted warded keyways, I've gotten into quite a few locks with this thin super shaft. So I think it was great to have. I think it was great. So we're going to move on from the Ripple to what I would call their pro pick handle, their pancake handles. I really like the pancake handle, and I would like to see them make a beginner set, an intermediate set, and a professional picker set, all in the pancake handles. I don't know if this is something that they will do, but I did make a recommendation to them on what I would do for each individual set, or a base of idea of what I would do for a beginner set, for an intermediate set, and for a pro set. And by pro, I don't mean locksmith. I just mean somebody who's been picking for 3 to 5 years. Not that that would make you a pro, just somebody who's got a lot of experience in picking. That's what I mean by pro set. Let's see, what else can I cover here? Oh, this fabulous case. I mean, come on, people. Look at this leather case. All these tools fit in this leather case, and let me just tell you, this case is smooth. It flattens right out with all these picks in it. I know, amazing, isn't it? I think the ripples and the handles make these stack up really nice in here. I was shocked at how compact it really gets. But the leather case is really nice. So if you do buy a set from them that doesn't come with a leather case, think about picking up a leather case for them. It's just fantastic case. So my favorite profiles out of this set, I'm gonna have to say I really enjoyed this teardrop offset hybrid. The shaft is super thin, and it is a little scary to use at first, but once you do use it in a Euro lock, oh my goodness. The feedback was phenomenal. The pins dropped. You just got to use really light tension when you're using this pick. That was a favorite. Another up and coming favorite is this little swoop. Although I will say I would like to have seen the swoop go up a little bit further, or maybe a little more pronounced swoop to it. But still, for American locks with wide open keyways, this swoop was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to pick with. Another favorite of mine was this quad. This quad, well, and this, the single one, I mean, come on. Come on. If you're a raker, talk about tons of fun. I was shocked at how well this single rake did. And I was kind of shocked that there wasn't a double peak in their pancake handle. That's one thing that I would have done, was put a double peak in there. Let's see, and a worm too. They have a worm right here that worked a treat, and then this double peak. I was amazed at how well this double peak worked, and you can also rake and pick at the same time, which I did on a couple locks. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But I would like to see a double peak in their Pro Series handle. Maybe that's something that they could add to this. But overall, the lockpick set, especially for the price, I don't think can be beat. All these profiles, all these tensioners, for the price of the set was, I mean, you'd be getting 10 picks, 3 tensioners, and just a regular synthetic case for the price of all these picks. And for the quality of the pick, like I say, if you treat these gently, if you're not, you know, if you've got a little experience, these picks are going to last you quite a while. I've got probably just as many hours as, say, your beginner picker would get in 6 months, and the last month, and not one bend. And I'm a heavy-handed picker. I don't know if you watched my picking or my channel, but I am a heavy-handed picker. I like to bully locks because bullying locks just gets them open. You do sacrifice some bending on picks after time, but you know, replacing 1 or 2 picks out of a set over time, that's something that I don't mind doing one bit. Now, could you get these picks individually by themselves? I don't know that yet, but that is something that I was going to ask when I did finally get a hold of one of the guys from Southern Specialties. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and I will turn them in if I don't have an answer for you, and try to get an answer for you. If this is something that you're thinking about getting, again, if you're new picker, I wouldn't suggest it. I would wait 6 months to a year and then come back and look. But then again, if you're a new picker that's just got $100 to blow, get this set. I mean, why not? Like I said, there's so many profiles. You're gonna have a hoot. But this is aimed more at the intermediate and pro picker, if not, like he told me, a locksmith themselves. So that's something to think about before you go and purchase this set. But I myself, as a picker who's been picking for 3 years, this was right up my alley. And it will be right up my alley for a long time to come. I plan on using these picks until they die. Until they die. Well, people, that's pretty much, yeah, that's what I think, and that's pretty much all that I can cover at the moment. And like I said, feel free to ask any questions, and I will shoot it up the ladder if I don't have answers. And I appreciate everybody coming back for this review. All right. Thank you, Southern Specialties. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you hooking me up with this set to play with, to do a review on, and yeah, thank you. Everybody, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like. If you're new here and just subscribing, please turn that notification bell to all the time. And if you're on the edge of subscribing, subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Share it out with all your friends and family, and hippy picking y'all.